Japanese meal, I'm going to make some sushi. Now, sushi is relatively easy to make. There's only one pernickety part, and that's making the rice, which has to be perfect. It has to be sticky enough so that it holds together, but that you don't want it gloopy and glutinous. And so for the rice, you need to actually use proper sushi rice. It's a particular grain of rice. And in a saucepan, I am going to put 2 cups of sushi rice to 2 cups of water. Okay, so you want the rice to come to a boil very quickly. We're not adding any salt at this stage. Let it come to a boil at a high heat quickly, and then turn it right down so that it simmers. In another saucepan, we're going to mix a little concoction. And for that, we're using very sort of Japanesey ingredients. This is Japanese rice vinegar. And we need 6 tablespoons of this. Okay, the next thing we need is the wonderful mirin. And we need 4 teaspoons of mirin. You then need 4 teaspoons of sugar, 4 teaspoons of water, and then 1 teaspoon of salt. And we're gonna let this mixture dissolve. Just want to cook it gently until the sugar and the salt dissolve. Let's have a look at the rice. I'm basically cooking it until all the liquid is absorbed into it. And I think that looks just about ready. So, on some sort of tray or a big plate or something, just get all your rice out. We're really trying to cool the rice quite quickly so it doesn't sort of continue cooking unnecessarily. I think my mixture is dissolved. So I'm just going to leave these things to cool. The mirin is cooled, and I'm just going to sort of drizzle it all over the rice. It's going to add a lovely, very delicate flavor to the rice. Okay, so let's pop this over here. Leave it, let it continue cooling. Now, for the fun part of constructing the sushi, you need a bamboo mat. You need to have, of course, your nori, which is the seaweed. So we're going to just put a piece of nori onto our bamboo mat, the length running the same way as the length of the bamboo mat, okay? And then, this is where we start to sort of construct. I've got lots of really wonderful things over here. Just fresh vegetables, pretty colors cut into strips. I've got avocado, I've got thyme, I've got radishes, cucumber, sweet pepper, red and yellow sweet peppers. I've also got these wonderful things. This is the red caviar that we picked up. We've got some black poppy seeds and some white sesame seeds. And then, of course, I've also got a little bit of fish there. So, let me see. We're going to basically spread the rice out. Remember that you don't want to do any of this too thickly, because otherwise you'll end up with this big enormous sushi roll, okay? Spreading the rice over about 3/4 of the nori in a fairly thin layer. I'm going to put a big dollop of caviar in the middle and spread them around with my spatula. And then running the length of your sushi roll, if you imagine it's going to be rolled into a sort of cone, no, a cylinder, then I'm going to put some piece of cucumber, some chive, maybe a little avocado. Remember, only a little bit of this is necessary. And perhaps, just for a little bit of a kick, a small amount of wasabi down the middle. Okay, now gently pull the nori to the edge of the bamboo. And then you're basically going to fold it over and start to roll it like that. Pulling back on the bamboo, trying to keep your roll nice and tight. Pull back on the bamboo. Put that on a plate. With a very sharp knife, dipped in some water, you're basically going to cut your rounds of sushi 3/4 of an inch to an inch. That way they're nice and little manageable bite sizes for you to eat with your chopsticks. Okie dokie. Now, the next one I'm going to try is another piece of sushi, nori, and spreading the rice, up to the edge, if you can get it as close to one of the edges as you can, and then sort of filling up 2/3 of the page. This one here is a little bit different. I'm going to basically sprinkle some poppy seeds on the rice and some sesame seeds. This very sort of thin sprinkle. And then just with your fingers kind of pat them down a bit. And then I'm going to turn the whole thing over. Right. Now, here I'm going to put in a little strip of wasabi. Give it a nice smear with my spatula. And then in this one I've got sort of radishes with the sort of pink and white, which I think are going to be quite pretty. So make a kind of a line of radish. And I'm going to put a red pepper, a piece of cucumber, and start rolling. Same way that you were doing it just now. Try and pull your ingredients into the center of the sushi roll, because when you're rolling, the ingredients will tend to push forward. With the bamboo, give it a good sort of squeeze. If you squeeze the rice with your fingers, everything's just going to stick to you, right? So just give it a good squeeze. Just cut off the excess nori. And there's a different kind of roll. The rice and the sesame seeds on the outside. Into the next one, I'm going to put a little bit of raw pink salmon. So what I'm going to do here is just cut very thin strips of the salmon. And then pop bamboo mat on there. Another sheet of nori. That with the rice. Oops, kaplonk everywhere. Okay. Now I'm going to basically plaster this entire thing with red caviar so that we'll have kind of beautiful red exterior. Gosh, this red is like rubies. It's just beautiful. Okay, once again, flip it over like that. Sort of bring your middle slightly off center. So I'm gonna make a line of salmon. I think I'm going to put some avocado in this one. Actually quite meditative when you're doing something like this. You can really take some time to be quiet. So I like cooking for people. Bit of red pepper. And now, again, we're rolling. Oops, I wanted to roll from this direction. We're rolling, so roll over a big lump of green. Basically, oops. Squish again, taking it round. Squash it. And there you have. Roll it over. That's going to make the shape nice and round. And there you have a beautiful roll of red sushi. What we're going to do is pick up the chopsticks, which takes some practice, and I'm going to show you how to eat a little sushi roll. So I've got my little sushi roll here. I'm going to take the tiniest dollop of wasabi, tiniest because you don't want to pass out. I'm going to just mush it around on the top of the sushi. Then I'm going to put a little sliver of ginger on top of that. Pick up the roll, dip in, and enjoy. See you next time on Sankosh.